The Unlimited Madness is back, and I hope you definitely enjoy what you're about to see. Welcome to the Grand Finals. Make sure that 34% of you guys have not smashed Living Crap that subscribe button. Make sure you take a couple of seconds to smash it so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. So we are off to the races here. It is Kashtira versus Sky Striker, and this is going to be a pretty amazing game. You're going to see a lot of these hand-ripping cards. I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you know, Robbie, these could come back at some point. If you see these going first, they are such a crazy disadvantage engine to the game. It's actually kind of crazy. We're going to go ahead and activate the Link window. All right, we're going to go ahead and chain the Max C. They're going to chain the Shifter here. All right, so we'll go ahead and resolve. So whatever gets discarded here is going to get banished. All right, so our opponent's going to go ahead and lose their Ray. That's actually big detrimental. All right, and then we have to lose our Forceful. Confiscation comes down. Now, what's most interesting about this is the choice that they make here. They're actually going to go ahead and take away our Imperm. Pot of Greed into the Confiscation. We just ripped away our opponent's entire hand for no reason. Like, think about that. We did it. All of that. We top deck Forceful Sentry, so we have to actually use this. We're going to take away our opponent's Birth. Very good call, by the way. And then they top deck the Unicorn. So this is going to start the downward spiral of this game, because the minute you see this, you get access to Papyrus. Papyrus gets you into Fenrir. Fenrir gets you into the Rise Heart. Rise Heart comes on down. Go ahead and get 3 from the opponent. Go ahead and make the Shangri-La here. We'll swing in with the Unicorn. So now we get to take a card out of our opponent's extra deck, which is going to be really, really good. As you see, we rip that away. We lock a zone, and we just manually make the Arise Heart here. There's literally no reason not to make the Arise Heart here. I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and continue on building some advantage, but we'd rather have the walking, talking macro with the interruption, because now we can take out anything that the opponent sets up. Like, that's why this was such a important play here at the end of the day, was all of the stack up of these materials is now free real estate for this. They drew a Veiler, yeah. So now we push on in to the next game here. All right, well, we have opened Imperial Order evenly, Birth, Pot of Greed, and Unicorn. Well, to be honest with you here, this is pretty good. But the other problem is when Sky Striker sees this card in their hand, they're going to be able to turbo through some crazy stuff here. And you're going to just kind of start watching Sky Striker do its thing. Forceful Sentry, we're going to go ahead and take away the IO. This is actually a very hard choice. The thing here now, though, is since we were able to resolve this Forceful Sentry, we now know that we have to play around this evenly matched. We also do know that our opponent also has Pot of Greed in their opening hand, so we do know that there could be like some pretty crazy stuff that we're going to have to deal with. Pot of Greed draws us into the other Graceful Charity. Look at this hand. Like, engage with double Charity, this is going to have no problem getting through these cards. Graceful Charity, all right, go ahead and discard Graceful Charity. Go ahead and discard. We have double Engage now. Engage into Rose. Go ahead and get our secondary search. There's the Widow Anchor. We get our draw. Down comes the Rose into the Kagari. We'll grab back Engage. Engage into the Shark Cannon. Draw, and then we're just going to go ahead, rotate into the Shizuku here. So we're actually going to take a pretty passive approach to this. This was a good call in my personal opinion, was because we know that we have to play around that very annoying evenly matched in our opponent's hand. So what if we can just mitigate the results? All right, go ahead and we lose a Maxi, we lose our Hornodrome. Our hand is double Shark Cannon, Widow Anchor. We have Ash and Maxi. So we are banking on whatever our opponent does here. We should have some outs for. Pot of Greed. All right, we're going to go ahead and Ash that. Down comes the Fenrir. Now, this is where things start to cry. Birth, we're going to go ahead and imperm that. All right. Unfortunately, Unicorn gets a free summon off of the Birth, so now we're going to have to start dealing with this. Here comes the Rise Heart. All right, Rise Heart, come on down. We're going to go ahead and Max C here so we can draw. All right, we lose our access code, which is fine. Fenrir. All right, there's the Birth for the free revive. Now they're going to go ahead. We are going to lose our dear friend here. I cry every time. All right, comes back the Ray. The Ray is going to go ahead and rotate into a Shizuku. Just so that this is very big, by the way. I just want to point that out. That Shizuku is huge. They're going to go ahead and make the Shangri-La here, which is a good call, and then they're going to go ahead and make the Diabolsis. And we're thinking on summon here. We just drew the Space Rock. I don't know how good at this game that you can actually be. So we're like, he probably just drew this rock, and he's like, wow, I actually drew the out. Like, I actually can't believe this. And I do agree. Like, actually being able to draw the rock actually matters all that much in this game. And I love the response. Just WTF. Actually drew the rock. You actually walked straight on into that. There's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. Hand our opponent the rock. Down it comes. We lose our Shizuku. And then we're just now winning the game for no real reason. Beautiful. Normal the Ray. Go ahead and make the Zeke to clear that on off. Sure. Go ahead. Zeke. Sure. All right. We'll get some damage in. We'll go ahead and linkage on off. And now you know what time it is. Any time that you are seeing the linkage into Kagari and your opponent's at 5,500 life, it's my favorite time. Yep. You see the concede there. What an amazing run back from Striker in that game. Drawing the Space Rock off of the Nibiru is so... I'm mind-boggled that we actually got to see that. Because in any sort of game state where you see something that stupid actually happen, you just kind of got to take a minute and go, yeah, I almost lost the game. Oh, well, actually, Max C did win him the game to draw into the secondary hand trap. I mean, like, the Ash Blossom, the Max C, it took how many hand traps to play through that field? Because, once again, you had to play through the evenly match. You can't just auto lose to the Imperial Order there, because if you'd let your opponent keep that Imperial Order, the game was over. All right, there's nothing that you could do, unfortunately. So I think he really made the best decisions that he really could for what he was kind of having to deal with there. And I want to be like, yeah, there's something else you could have done. I don't really think that there was, honestly. All right, well, we step on into the next game here. All right, game 3. My favorite hand rippers in the whole wide world are here. Look, double Forceful Century. Let's go ahead and take a gander. Anything before main phase 1? Nope. Double Forceful Century. So we're actually going to take away our opponent's Effect Veiler and the Imperm here. That way that they don't actually get the chance to do anything. Now, oh my god. We actually see the third Forceful Century. I'm actually disgusted. Graceful Charity into the Pot of Greed and the Birth. Oh my gosh. We also have this. This little thing right here can steal a game for us. Because our opponent might not know what to do. There's the Birth into the Pot of Greed, and the Confiscation and the Forceful Century. I am physically ill. This is why I was talking about, like, when you can just filter through all of these hand rip cards, drop Charity and shuffle back the Ray. Our opponent is now left on Cosmic Cyclone, of all things, and we have, there's the Revive, and then down comes, you guessed it, of all things, Nightmare Corruptor Iblis into the Almirage. Hand our opponent that. Papayas on up. We're going to grab the Scareclaw Kashtira here. Down comes the Arise Heart here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make the Shangri-La into the tier. Lose 3 from the opponent. There's the Shangri-La to lock. Make the Arise Heart into the Scareclaw. And then we're going to go ahead and vacuum on up the rest of the good stuff. Alright, there is the Special Summon of the Unicorn. Our opponent did get the Raigeki here, which is pretty good. We're going to go ahead and Almirage for the protection. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and Rise Heart vacuum on up a free Papayas. Why not, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, there's nothing else there that really would have changed that. Now, the big thing here, this game was very much dictated by the hand loops. Alright, like, hand ripping, I think in this format, before like combos and things can even start, is one of the craziest things that you can see. And I think that this game, hilariously, was done in by the Nightmare Corruptor Iblis. The fact that you saw the Nightmare Corruptor here actually matter really says something about this format. So I hope that you really enjoyed some crazy loops. We will have the top breakdown for this, so you can kind of get a little bit of an idea as to what has happened for this tournament. But I will see your beautiful faces back here later on the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you. Ugh.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.